Well, it's the end of September, and like I do every year, I'm out here at the Mac Johnson Wildlife Area taking in an end of season bike ride. Always like coming out here when it starts to cool down, the leaves start to fall off the trees. It's kind of nice to get out and get in a little bit of shade, enjoy some trails. I try not to bike in the trails too much in the summertime because it's a little bit busier, and I don't want to be that guy. Today, the plan is really simple. There is no plan. I'm just out for a little bit of a bike ride. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know how long I'm going to go for, but I just want to get out, enjoy a little bit of a bike ride, and yeah, that's it. Pretty simple. So, I always like to reflect on the biking season around this time of the year, because you never know how many more great days you're going to have ahead of you. And at the end of the day, I'm pretty happy with how the biking season went this year for me. Some of the highlights for me this year, taking in the solar eclipse. That was a pretty cool bike ride. And definitely the McNabb Braeside Trail. I didn't even know the rail trail existed, and it's probably my second favorite trail in the area. Yeah, go for a bike ride and just go wherever the wind takes you. Sometimes it's fun to have a plan, and sometimes it's fun not to have a plan. So I could bike around the trails here for a bit, but I think I'm gonna get out, go hit up the country roads a little bit. All right, goodbye wildlife area. Used to be an old carriage route. Used to meet up with Airport Road. I don't think it's passable anymore, but I'd love to see the southern end of it. So I think I'm gonna go and check that out, because I wanted to check that out for years. Earlier this year, I went out and I recorded a ride on the New York Central Fitness Trail. And I don't think it came through on the video, but my rear rack actually shook itself apart on that ride. It's kind of crazy because I've gone on a lot of really bumpy roads and crazy trails and never gave me a problem. But the second I went on probably the smoothest paved rail trail I've ever been on in my entire life, it shook apart. Go figure. This is a gorgeous road. I can't believe I've never been down this before. Look at these trees. They're just massive. Beautiful. That's it. Road no more. That's a great thing about going out on a ride where you have no plan. You start off in the middle of a bunch of trails and you think to yourself, maybe I'll just cycle through the trails today, keep it simple, enjoy a little bit of shade. Next thing you know, you're on a country road. I saw where the southern end of the old horse and carriage trail was, and I'd like to see the north end of it. There's a helicopter. It's pretty cool. Don't see too many of them around. At the end of the straight stretch, that is where the old carriage route used to rejoin up with Airport Road. Very picturesque with the horse and the maple behind it with the orange leaves. All right, the line of trees to my right, that is where the old horse carriage route used to be. I'm gonna stop here at this corner, See if there's anything left to see now. I've come by here a bunch of times, but never actually stopped to see what's left of it. Oh, would you look at that? Pretty cool to see that it's still here. All right, away we go. This mixes up my riding surface a little bit. Had the trails, the paved road, and now some gravel roads. Makes for a nice mix. I think the last time I was down here probably was one of those first bike rides I did way early in the spring. I don't think I've been down this road since. Wow, beautiful. This was so worth it. That view alone. Actually a pretty fun little gravel country road to ride on, not too busy. I think that there's like, I don't know what you call it, but they get sand out from the ground around here. So you'll see like mounds of sand along the side of the road where they, I don't know what the word is, but I'm gonna just call it farming the sand. Fun part for me about coming out and exploring roads like this has always been, for the first time, when you come out to one of these roads, what waits for you around the next bend? What sights are you gonna see? Here we go. Around the corner, and oh yeah, white picket fence. There used to be an abandoned house here. Maybe it's just hidden by all the trees here. Yep, I see it. Wow, is it ever hidden in there? You almost couldn't tell it was there if you didn't know. You can just ride right on by it. Crazy. I just think it's so random. Like, see so many things out in the countryside, but the last thing I expect to see is sand dunes out here. As a cyclist, I definitely love quieter roads and trails, and I've definitely made it a point to learn what roads are the quietest. And it didn't take me too long to realize that the winding roads out in the country that are gravel are usually the quietest, but they're also a lot of fun to ride on too. Oh yeah, definitely struggling for a little bit of grip here. Let's slow her down a bit. There we go. Yep. This is the corner with the little creek. makes coming down this way so worthwhile for me is when you get into Bethel and you round that last corner before you go south to where the church is. I just love the view from up top, like all this wide open field here. The view from the top, I think, is probably one of my favorites around. Reminds me of the prairies a little bit. Beautiful field to my right. Wow. Almost to Bethel now. This is a really cool historic home here. I love about it is the stone wall, just this classic stone wall in the front. See a lot of stuff like that over in England, but you don't see too much of it up here in Canada. There we go. There is the view I love. What I love is up here, where you just got everything wide open on both sides. Here's where I stopped in the springtime to go through the churchyard and admire the whipping tree across the street. Still love that barn. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this ride. So from here, it's just a straight shot down Centennial Road until I get back to Mac Johnson. It's been a fun ride coming out here in the middle of the countryside, and I certainly didn't expect to come all the way out here. So that's what it's all about. Just get out on the bike, go wherever the wind blows you, and enjoy the journey.